I think from an Indian point of view, if we look at regional security in the Asia Pacific, over the last few years, the uncertainties have grown considerably. That's happened for several reasons, because the balance of power in the Asia Pacific is shifting very rapidly, and countries are still adjusting to the return of geopolitics. We have now territorial disputes, maritime disputes. We also have issues with non-state actors, whether it's terrorists and extremists trying, and in fact, what we see now is increasingly more and more globalized in a form which we haven't seen before. So our concern really is that the region is institutionally challenged in dealing with these issues. We are, in a sense, victims of our own success. We've done very well over an extended period of 30 years of stability and tranquility, within which we have grown rapidly and our economies have developed. I think this is the part of the world which has pulled most people out of poverty, and really the economies have driven so much change that today now we're dealing with the consequences of that change. How successful we are in doing this really depends on our collective will, and it's time that we learn to work together to develop the habits of cooperation of dealing with these. Part of the problem is that we're doing this in an uncertain world. The world economy itself is no longer as supportive as it used to be to our development, to our growth. And we're trying to develop a security architecture, a security order, at the same time as we're dealing with the consequences of the world economic crisis in 2008, which we still haven't fundamentally solved. We're in a period of much slower growth, and where we need more economic integration, but it's getting harder and harder, where nationalist sentiment is much stronger through the region. So I personally am an optimist, because it's in all our interests to actually work together to deal with the security issues that we face, whether it's maritime security, where we all have a common interest in keeping the sea lanes open for navigation, for trade, for energy flows, or even in dealing with extremism and so on, because we, after all, if you look at the strength of our societies, of our communities, we can and will, I think, choose moderation rather than extremism. And I don't think that the Asia Pacific provides the kind of ground for extremism and terrorism that exists, say, to the west of India in some societies. Besides, these are states which are relatively strong, which have the capacity to deal with these issues, as we've shown in the past when there was piracy in the Malaccan Straits, for instance. We did manage to deal with it, and we dealt with it successfully by working together at sea, in the air, eyes in the sky, and on land, eliminating their bases. So I am a relative optimist for the Asia Pacific. It's just that it's going to take some effort and maybe a little time to get there. Thank you.